currently on Saturday morning cruise with Ojo Lasisi, aka Rain Over. You already know. Man, you need to see me in here. I've been dancing like crazy right here, man. Man, I'm just so excited. I mean, it's 2022. What would you have me do? I just have to give God all the glory. It's been an amazing year. 2021 has been an amazing year, man. Trust me, 2022 is going to be better, bigger and better. Okay, so now currently we're on the segment of 360 Hub. I told you earlier that when the show started, I'm going to be telling you the topic. Yeah, the topic today is how to set a realistic New Year's goals. So trust me, how to set a realistic New Year's goals. So believe me, I know a lot of you already have plans. You have things you want to achieve this year. You have things on your mind that you would love to achieve this year. Believe me, but you just don't know how to put the plans together. You just don't know how to get it done and all of that. Believe me, I got you. Yeah, I got you. So I'm here with my boss, my boss of boss, my boss. You know when we see a guy at the top, you're talking of the real Oga at the top. He's laughing at me. When we say the Oga at the top, I have here in the studio with me this morning. I'm so happy to have him because trust me, it's not easy to get him here. It's been a very, very busy year for him. And this morning, you know what? When you see him, you know. His name is Mr. Ola Ima Okpara Signature. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you.
Happy New Year. I'm so happy to see you now. Like I don't know, I don't think we've seen each other since your show, but I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you
So
much.
he's gonna be sharing with us giving us insights on how to plan the year, how to put our goals together, how to set those realistic goals, not those ones that we'll say, hey, we want to buy house this year when we know that we don't have a job. I will start putting faith to work and all of that. So don't mind me, I just needed to say that. So he's gonna be, taking us on that journey, how to set those realistic goals that when you set them, you'll be able to achieve them, and from there you'll be able to move to the next level in life. So over to you, sir.
Sorry, I was taking time to update a lot of our guests online. So
all right. I can feel him for you. Meanwhile, if you're just joining us, this is Bros Radio, your number one business radio station. And of course, if you're still wondering how to, you can download our mobile app. Yeah, I can download our mobile app on Google Play Store or iOS. Yes, just go there, search for Bros Radio. You can get it there, and you can listen to us live and direct. You can also share with your friends and families. Trust me, it's something that you should share with them. And of course, yes, you can follow us on all social media platforms. If you're listening to us via the app right now or any of the online radio directories, you can watch us live. I don't know if you're aware of that. Yes, you can just go straight to Facebook right now. We are Bros Radio NG on Facebook, and you can listen to us live and direct. You can watch us live and direct. You can get to see my beautiful face. Yeah, this my handsome face. That's that cute face. You might be wondering, who is this guy? You like to hear his voice. Yeah, you've been hearing the voice though. You just don't know what I look like now. You can know what I look like now. Okay, so yeah, you can also get to watch this later on our YouTube. On YouTube, we are Bros Radio NG as well, and on Instagram, we are Bros Street Arrow AD. And on on Twitter, we are also Bros Street ROAD. So trust me, yeah, that's it basically. So yes, don't forget the topic today is how to set a realistic New Year's goals. So trust me, you are in for a good ride, not a bumpy ride. Okay. So yeah, so I'll be making way for him to get it all started. In fact, I'm here with my pen and jotter too, so I'll be listing down some things. Like I said earlier, my Oga at the top. Yeah, Mr. Ola Ima Okpara.
All right, thank you
Over to you,
very
sir.
much. It's so much delight. Thank you for having me, Ojo. Thank you so much, Bros Street Radio. I mean, I've been here. I've been on the show twice.
Yeah.
One of
Yes,
the
you have.
time was virtual, and
Yes.
this other one live, and then this is the third time. Ladies and gentlemen, Lagos, Africa, Nigeria. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just coming on This is Broad Street Radio. My name is Ola Ima Opera. I'm your growth strategist, and you call me signature. All right. How are you? How's 2021?
Wow. 2021. Don't get me started on that. Like, I've got so much to say.
I get it.
I would rather not say anything because time will not permit me.
I can imagine. All right, so it's my time, and you said I was going to do this, so it's going to be like a teaching, right? And then we'll go to the part where we can ask questions. Don't mind me. I wanted to make it a bit interactive. If you're just joining in, please do the hashtag Broad Street Radio, hashtag and signature. If you're just joining in, hashtag the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. This is 360 Hub. All right, Broad Street Radio. It's about your business radio station. All right, and if you're a young entrepreneur out there, this is the biggest platform to join in. Right, I feel very privileged and delighted and honored to be on this platform. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to take off my.
Right. Finally, somebody decided to stop intimidating me here.
Alright guys, okay, so let's get into this. I've been told I'm going to be talking about goal setting and the likes of every other thing that has to be talked about for goal setting. Right. Okay, so it appears like goal setting is a cliche everybody gets to talk about. I mean, every year you say you're doing your New Year resolution, right? So I saw something very funny online. My friend said, I've decided that this is New Year.
Yeah.
Of course, last year what I did was I decided I was not going to eat red meat any longer, and then I'm only going to eat white meat and fishes. And then it was already January 1st, and the person was already eating red meat. so you can imagine that, right? So yeah, many times we've set all kinds of audacious goals, all kinds of goals in the name of New Year resolutions and all of that. And this is the reality about it. Keep your resolutions going on. Keep your resolutions going on. The word resolution in itself, it's not a negative word, right? Keep resoluting, because the reality of life is that whatever you cannot measure, you can improve. And that brings me to what we're going to be doing this morning. The first thing to do is that before you start to talk about where we are going to go, let's look at where we are coming from. And one of the beautiful things about where we are coming from is that it's important to audit. Whatever you do not audit, chances are that you're not going to see where you did good and where you did the mistakes, right? So 2021 for me was, it was a year that I decided to do a huge stretching game, right? I stretched myself. I know a whole lot of persons did it because, the pandemic stole 2020 from us.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do in 2021 was to bring in your best. Right. So let's get into what we're going to talk about this morning. So we're talking about goals. Right? Just like every other word, like strategy, every word in the English language has its roots place. Whatever the word is as a concept or whatever, it has its roots place. So like the word strategy, the roots industry, or you say sector, from where that concept came out from is in the military, right? During the war and all of that, so strategy is used everywhere now, market and all the likes, strategy is used everywhere. So the question is, where did we get goals from, right? Where did we get goals from? So you realize that goals most of the times are talked about within the sporting industry. So it's when you are into sporting activities. Now I understand the English language meaningful goals that can mean targets for you, they can mean vision, they can mean all kinds of things, right? But the reality about it is that your goals are your vision in disintegrated forms, right? So the word is your goals are your vision in disintegrated forms, right? So in other words, you have a vision. Your vision is a whole, concept of your purpose. Right. So you have a purpose, which is likely your reason, what validates your existence. And then vision is your foresight based on insight with the benefit of the hindsight.
Wow.
Right. So in other words, I explained that. So vision is foresight. In other words, what you're looking ahead of you,
Yes.
with the benefit of what is within, inside, and based on insight with the benefit of insight. So in other words, we cannot talk about tomorrow without asking
Start
what you
talking about
currently
yesterday.
have,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
we cannot talk about what you have without talking about what you used to have.
Exactly.
Right.
Just like saying where you're not where you used to be.
Beautiful. So that is what vision is. Now, when you break this vision into realistic bit by bit, I mean disintegrated forms, right? When you break them into simple schedules, into simple, goals are specific.
Yeah.
Visions are whole. Right, so vision is whole, goal is specific.
Okay.
So, and that's the reason why you know that when you pray and say, God, give me this,
Yes.
it appears like God is saying you've not really said what you
want.
want. So, in other words, specific, requests is what makes everything you are requesting comes very fast, right? So, goals are not supposed to be vague or supposed to look very complex. They are supposed to look simple. Right. So they're supposed to look simple. That's the first thing you need to understand. If it is not simple enough, if it's not relatable, then they end your goals. Now, let's go into the concept of goals truly, right? The concept of goals talks about the sporting industry. Football or any other ball game is where you get the word goals. So when people talk about setting goals, it's not the ideal language to use now. Why it sounds like a cliche, I have never seen anybody who play good football, who say you are spending your time to set goals.
Set goals.
No, I have never seen it. Right? So if we look at the word goal, how do you start to set your goals while your opponent watch you? I don't know if you play good football, right? If you play football,
your formations, everything is all out there.
So you're setting your goals, and as an opponent, I'll be watching you set your goals. No, nobody does that, right? Because it's called a challenge. It's supposed to be a competition. It's supposed to be a game, right? So in other words, I want you to take the concept of goals. Like when you play football, I want you to take that concept of goals in your daily lives, right? Okay. So if we need to break the language called goal, the question is, who is setting goals?
Okay.
No, people don't set goals. Team in footballs don't set goals. All they do is that they put up a plan. You build a team, you put up a plan, you decide to run a formation, but you don't set goals. What you do is that you score goals.
What?
Right, so you don't set goals, you score goals. Right? And if you realize that the best of footballers who score goals are not those who are setting
the goals.
They are those who take advantage of already defined formations to make a goal happen. Right? Okay. And every time you see a goal scored in football, right, you realize somebody is taking advantage that the other person isn't taking. Right, so that's why most times we ask ourselves that when a two team is supposed to play, this one prays and then the other one prays, and the question is, where does God come in? Right, so at that point you realize that goals don't happen by prayers. No. Right, so the football game is a perfect way to let you know that goals don't happen by prayers. Right, the best team oftentimes are always the team that wins.
Yeah.
Right, the best team oftentimes are always the team that scores. So you don't set goals. You score goals. Right, but you can have your formation, right? Your life can have a formation, and that formation is about where you were coming from, right? So in other words, it means that if you're a long-term planner, right, you can plan, right, and then you don't validate your plans and goals by years. Now, one of the wonders of the world is numbers. One of the wonders of the world is numbers. The fact that numbers were created out of this world is what makes it the world of miracle. Right? So you have alphabets. Alphabets makes you speak. They make you communicate. But you see, numbers helps you curate. Right? So the only thing is that there is no new year. There is no new person. Right? There is only a new figure.
A new figure.
There's only a change. So centuries, years, and all of that, it's just a counting.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't change from within, chances are that nothing is going to happen with you without.
Wow.
Right? So goals cannot be set, goals can only be scored. Right? So if you play good football, you realize that the guy who is taking time to put the ball behind the net, you know, as the person who's not going to score. If you take too much time, you lose the chance because your opponents don't watch you to score against them.
Yeah.
Now, most likely, when you're concerned about scoring a goal, you know, scoring a goal in football, you realize that while you are pushing to go score a goal, if you're not careful, you can receive a goal yourself, and that can be devastating. Now, what people do every year is that they find themselves trying to say they're setting goals or trying to score goals, but while they're pursuing to score goals, they're even receiving goals.
Receiving goals.
Right, so it's because life is happening on them, they are not happening to life. So every time life happens on you, you are receiving goals, and it's frustrating.
Yes.
When you were supposed to be happening to life. So the new year and new figure gives us an opportunity to create a new self, create a new energy, create a new force, not necessarily a new plan. Right? Because if you have a picture of what your vision and your purpose is already, if you're a long-time planner, chances are that you're not changing anything. Instead, the only thing you're doing is going deeper in the plans. Right? Because depth is everything. Right? Depth is the beauty of improvement.
Okay.
Right, you know, so one of the things I did this year was that why everybody has a title for their year. Oh, I've seen all kinds of things. My year of this, my year of this, my year of this. 2 weeks. I mean, we do prayer and fasting, January and all of that. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, and then you start to look for all of those prophecies and they can't see manifestation of it in their life. The reason is because words or prayers don't score goals. What score goals is an already predefined formation and one or a team member who understands what it means to take advantage of situation and opportunity to score goals.
Wow.
Right. Now, it brings me to want to talk about a few things that you need to do for this year. So what I have done this morning is let you know that you cannot be setting goals. You can only be scoring goals. Because those who set goals are likely not going to meet those goals because opponents, I mean your opponents will not watch you is setting goal, which is live in itself. Now, another thing with goals is that goals has a rule. Right? If you watch football or if you play football, you watch football or any other ball, right? Any other ball game, it shows you that there's a simple rule that says that you've scored a goal. Right? There is always a line. If the ball passes the line or goes beyond the line, that's when it's not about a push into the net, it's about crossing the line. Right? And when you cross the line with the ball or it goes beyond that line, you know, the goalpost line, that's when you say that a goal has been scored. So in other words, it means that there has to be somebody or something that determines if a goal is scored. Right? So what's that line? What's that standard? What's that standard? The standard, the rule. Who sets this standard? Who sets the rule? Now, it's good to know that you're the only person who can set your standard and your rule to know if you scored your goal or if you didn't score the goal for the year. In other words, it means that a lot of people live their life watching other people's goals, watching other people's standards run their own lives. When they've forgotten that if I have to score a goal, if my ball has to go beyond that, you know, if it has to go beyond that line, the goal line, then I need to be the one setting the standard and setting the rules. Now, it's easy for anybody to look at me and say, I've not achieved anything. I've not achieved so much for the year, maybe because of their own standard. And that's the reason why a lot of people fall into depression. You get oppressed unnecessarily. You know why? Because you're not focused on scoring your own goal under your own standard and rules. Right? You know, so what makes a goal is the fact that you went beyond the line. Now, one of the things people need to understand, I'm just going to give out a few nudges to let you know how to score your goals for this year. Now, one of the first rule is that you must set your standard. Set your own rule. You'll be the one who give your scores. right? Because some other person who has all the support and all of that, and you who do not have that support, cannot be having the same measure or criteria for measuring if your goal is caught or not. Right? Social media cannot be the standard to checking if your goals is caught or not. Right? If you have your dreams, your vision, your plan, and your purpose all set out, and then you build them into disintegrated schedules, 1 days, 2 days, and all of that. As far as you are very clear about the fact that this is what scoring my goal means. What does vision achievement means for you? At the end of the year, what is achievement to you? I mean, yesterday in church during the crossover service, the only thing I could think of, I couldn't pray. I was just only saying, God, I thank you for consistently paying salaries. And then the only prayer I said was, I want to create more job in 2022 and I want to pay more salary in 2022. Now, this is the point. The point is, I am not saying that this is what I have to do. I am saying that is what the desires is. That's what the plan is, right? In other words, it means that once you have a need in mind as a standard for goals, then you make a lot of miracle happen in your life. Now, what makes a lot of people feel underrated about how far they have done in a year is that they call their goals wants instead of making it a need. And there's a difference between a need and a want, right? Okay. A need is the basic form in which it is a basic form of your life, right? Yes. It's a basic necessity to your life. So in other words, you can need food, but you want either rice or beans. Now, when you make your essentials for the year wants, so your goals comes in form of wants, but your vision comes in form of need. Right? Because it stays concurrent while your goals are specific. Right? So your wants are the forms in which your need appear. So you want food, which is your need, but you want either rice or beans. So the first thing you need to do to scoring your goals is set your standards. Right? What my standard is may not be your standard. Now, the reality about it is that some people are on a flight, while others are on a road. So there's a flight, there's a lane, and there's a track. If you run on the track where the train goes through, right, you realize that I have never seen a train undertake what's the word now? Overtake another train. Yeah. I have never seen. But if you're on a lane, overtaking is possible. Now, but most of the times you realize that when you're overtaking, sometimes if you're in traffic, for instance, and you're trying to overtake into the other lane, you get to a lane when it gets completely stopped, and then some other times you can be lucky. Now, in other words, it means that the person you are looking at as a standard to setting your goals, you are not even sure if the person is on a track, if the person is on a lane, or if the person is on a flat.
You might even be better than the person.
And I have never seen any car, to a large extent, right? Forgive me, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I have never seen any car as fast as a train. Right? So
what about Bugatti Veyron?
Like I said again, I don't know how right I am with that, but the truth about it is the train is built for fastness. It's built to run fast, right? So trains are faster, but they are on the track. Right?
And they cannot overtake.
So in other words, if you leave the station first, you would get there before the next other person. So there is no hurry. Does it make sense? So at every point in time in your life, there are times you're on a lane, there are times you're on the track where you need to follow, particularly when you're serving, when you're under a mentor, you're on a track, you cannot run beyond yourself, you cannot overtake. And then there's a time where you are on a flight. So the first thing is set your standard. And your standard, these three things I've said can help you set your standard. At this point in my life, what are the parts of my life that are on a lane? What are the parts of my life that are on the track? What are the parts of my life that are on the flight? And there are rules to a flight. If a flight has to take off
at a certain time,
right? So the flight
can't be late.
The flight needs the law of the lift, and then it needs the law of the drag. No flight takes off without first being dragged backwards. So in other words, it means that if you're on a flight, expect to be dragged. I mean, some things happened to me last year, right? I went on a new level. And then I felt that the new level means speed. Only when a lot of challenges, I lost a lot of money, did a lot of things, and then I realized, I got that revelation one morning, and I just realized that no, when you carry more load, you don't run immediately. I mean, when you carry more load, the first thing you're concerned about is stability.
Yes.
I don't know if you understand that. So you need to be stable before you can run. So you need to get used to the load, right? Where the load becomes lightweighted,
exactly.
And then afterwards you can take a speed. So when you move, then you are qualified for another load.
Wow.
Right? You know, so but these things are in its practical sense. So the first thing is understand what part of your life is on a lane, what part of your life is on the track, what part of your life is on the flight. Right? And if you know the law of flight, there's a point where the flight gets to, it becomes autopilot. I mean, the pilot can leave that control room and come to even discuss with passengers. Right? So you need to understand that. Now, that's one thing. The other part is that I have never seen in the history of football or any other game, those who play the forward, I mean those who are the attackers, are the ones who have a better chance to scoring goals. The chances of the defender scoring a goal is never the same thing with the chances of an attacker scoring a goal. Now, there are attackers, but there is a number 9. Right? The number 9 guy is the guy largely designed to make sure he sees the back net. In other words, it means that as your life runs, you are a full you are departmentalized like a full team. You know, so a part of you must be concerned about being the attacker of your life. In other words, the person who is concerned about scoring goals. There must be a part of your life that is always concerned about scoring goals. And there's something about the 9. You know, powerful 9s like Nistelrooy in football. I'm sorry for those who don't understand football. Powerful 9 like Nistelrooy and some of those powerful 9 around the world and the history of football. They are great 9 who understand the law of positioning. Right? So a good 9 understands the fact that you don't run to where the ball is going. You don't pursue the ball, you don't pursue the ball, you run to where the ball is going. Right? If you pursue the ball, chances are that you're going to miss the ball. But if you run to where the ball is going, it means you're already positioning. So the other rule, aside from setting your own standard and rules for why you rate yourself as having done well for a year, the other thing is that you must learn to position. Your goal scoring ability is not in your scatteredness of pursuing, it is in your positioning. Right? So in 2022, position better. It will help you score better goals.
So if I'm getting that correctly, so that means positioning means you have things that you want to achieve. If you need to take extra skills, if you need to take extra coaching lessons, if you need to learn new things, if you need to learn new skills, engage yourself in those things.
Exactly.
Because when you are prepared, then when the opportunity comes,
you can grab it.
It becomes a miracle.
Awesome. So in other words, it means that positioning requires, if you need to get that skill, get it. If you need to serve someone, serve. Whatever you need to position is very important. Right? Because this is what it is. You know, increase your value or you decrease your chances. So the power of positioning is in increasing your value. It positions you better. Those who devalue you because you are running everywhere. Not everybody can handle your pregnancy. So the same way, not everybody can manage your imagination or manage your vision. So you are not called to be mentored by everybody.
Sure.
You are not called to serve everybody. Not every idea that flies are yours. Right? So if you understand that concept of positioning, you don't run. If you find a 9 that overlaps, the 9 has a chance of missing goals. But when you find a 9 that positions, because the essence of a 9 in a football match is to convert goals.
Yes.
Right? So if you're not converting goals, chances are that you're not, my speaker of PG, you'll not be better 9. Right? So I don't understand that the other thing is that you need to take advantage of the law of attraction. You know what the law of attraction says is that every human being is a living magnet who attracts who we are per time, not what we want. You get that? So you attract who you are per time, not what you want. If you close your eye now
and I say dream of 50 billion. In that imagination, you can attract 50 billion. I mean, you can close your eyes, imagine that you have 50 billion, only to open that eyes and discover that you don't have 50 billion. So in other words, in your imagination, you were a billionaire. But when you opened it, you were a billionaire.
Billionaire.
So in other words, there is a billionaire or millionaire that ends with a million, N-A-I-R-E. That is the right billionaire. There is another one that ends with the N-E-A-R. It means you are a billionaire. You near him, but you don't touch him.
You're not touching. You're not close.
I don't even get that. So
get
you
it.
near him, but you don't touch him. In other words, what it means is that a lot of people live in wishful thinkings, wishful dreams. I mean, some people have lost the capacity to think and create only to convert them into worries. That the world, that Nigeria is hungry does not mean the entire world is hungry. So in other words, your limitation is not the limitation of another. So there are limiting beliefs that you need to deal with in order to be able to attract what you desire, because your wishes don't come, you only attract who you are.
Who you are.
So you don't attract what you wish for, you attract who you are.
Who you are.
So if you want billions, the question is, what are the systems you have curated to repeatedly generate that billion? Right? So it's not enough to say I receive it. It is asking yourself if you have the systems that can receive it. Because sustainability is everything.
So that means the first thing you need to do is to build that system
Very important.
that can receive it.
Yes, because there has to be a total balance. Right? If I receive it, I must be sure that I have systems that have been built. I mean, you cannot be saying you in your account in the whole of 2021, you never received a million naira. Now, I am not disputing the place of miracles, right? But then again, you realize that miracles don't just happen.
Yes.
Right? They don't just happen. That's the reason why miracles are a tiny fragment, compared to the place of hard work and human work. In other words, what I mean is, if you count a miracle now, you will count 1 or 2 persons who got miracles. Now, but there are 1 million other people you can count who could say that this is not anything spectacular, it was out of my effort. Right? So the reason why miracle is because it needs to suspend natural laws. And to suspend natural laws means that you have gone beyond the natural. There are commitments that you have done on the supernatural that can make the natural laws bow to you. Right? So the reality about it is, if I did not make 1,000 naira, if I did not make 1,000,000 naira in 2021, and I shout I received billions, it is not realistic. Right? It is not realistic. So the question you start asking is, if they have prophesied that you're going to see billions, what can you start putting in place now, so that when the billions come, you don't become a fad. You don't become, I used to have it, I get that before, not be property.
Of course.
So we should be able to build systems, not because we want to earn, but because we want to sustain our earning capacity. Right? So I have said that there is need for you to set your own standard and your rules. It's important to understand that the need for position makes you distinct. And then it's also important to know that you attract who you are per time, not what you want. So in other words, if I become more, my chances of scoring a better goal comes up. Right? If I become more, my chances for scoring a better goal shows up. Right? If I develop myself, if I learn that new skills in this year, if I serve that person I'm supposed to serve, if I take advantage of that relationship that I'm supposed to take advantage of, so it's important, people. I see 2022 as a year where all you need to do is look at what has worked yesterday and find how you can deepen into those processes, find how you can repeat the process, because largely success is not a day thing. It's largely about repeating the process and your output. Right? So a successful person is not the person who made it happen once. A successful person is the person who can make it always happen. Right? So it's important that we understand that. Now, these 3 things are as simple as what you can do to help you score your goals. Because goal setting is not visible, but goal scoring is important. Visible. I have seen people who drew up in their goals that they are not going to do this, and an opportunity came for that.
They have to shift.
I mean, they did not even shift because somewhere in the goal, it is traditional written that if it is not this, it is nothing else.
Wow.
It's the same idea when people tell you jack of all trades, master of none. But they have forgotten that the image of who they carry is an image where you cannot box him into something. Right? There might be time to express all of those gifting, and it can be your chief gift, but the reality about it is that you're not designed to become a thing. Just like your God who made you was not designed to be a thing. So every time you say the Holy Spirit is fire, it shows up like serpent. Every time you say it is serpent, it shows up like wind. So that capacity, that power, that kind of expression has been given to you as well. So that's the reason why you can become that musician, you can become that actor, you can become that model. You are not doing too many things, you are doing one thing. What you're doing is called art. But it is the shallow mind that makes you feel, if you don't focus, if you don't concentrate. I mean, there are some things that happened for me in 2021 that happened because I learned how to create systems where I can be so many things to many people. But one thing to those that matter. So to those that matter, the no signature means humanity. To those who are just short-time people, people just come into your shop, it's either they are doing window shopping or buying one thing, but they are never customers. To those ones, I am everything.
So whatever you need, I have it.
Oh, I have it. But for the ones
that actually knows what they want
into my process in my world, they know that I'm one single thing. So you find me do this. What I do is humanity. If you're a model, if you're a singer, if you're this, if you're that, you're not doing so much, you're doing act. Right? So the idea is, if you consider yourself setting goals, have you seen a number 10 or a defender who is within the box 18? And then he has a chance to score the goals, and then he said, no, by design I am not set to be the one who scores. And then he decides to say, number 9, come score for me. Now you then design, say you're supposed to score. That's what goal setting is about. But in football, you don't set goals. You see, you put in your formation, your systems, your processes. What you do is anybody can score. Because at the end of the day, what you're concerned about is winning in life. What you're concerned about is winning the games. So if you are doing the winning game is about scoring. And anybody can score. Because scoring is about being at the right place at the right time. Not being at the place your goals say you should be. I mean, you ask a lot of people, what's your 2020? If it's not this, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to catch you. I mean, there were times I listened to a lot of people. If it's not premium, I'm not selling. If it's not premium, I'm not selling. If they can't pay 500 billion for social program, for social courses, for this and that, I'm not selling. They can't pay this for my handwork. But if you check those kind of people, they are broke every other day. The reason is because they don't understand that yes, even the world is run by discount sales. In other words, if you ask yourself how much MTN makes from you, it is the many kobo. But they make it in subscriptional value. Right? So aside from the fact that they make it in subscriptional value, they make sure that there are too many people. So when I am waiting, because my goal says if they can't pay me 500,000, they are not the people I should work with. So while I'm waiting for the person who is going to pay me 500,000 naira, if I have designed that program or something like a scratch of the full, and then I offer it for 1,000 naira, all I need to do to get 500,000 naira is to multiply the numbers of
people coming.
So we are in a social economy. In other words, it means that it is no longer about one person giving you all the money that you want. It is not about how you can make that much money from so many people. Knowing that the person who buys 1,000 naira from you has a chance of becoming, a high class tomorrow. The average people in every society are going up.
And the person can always come back. She's also creating a recurring payment.
And there are more people. More people you can introduce new things to. So in other words, it means that you must learn to understand that in 2022, nothing is cast in stone. Or like one of my guys would say, nothing is cast in lead. In other words, the room to be flexible is important. And those, because I'm a system design expert, and I understand what it means to design processes and systems for organizations. And I can tell you that any system that does not understand the exit door, or does not understand the flexibility and versatility or boundarylessness, is a system that is designed to make people slaves. right? So there is need to be flexible in 2022. There is need to be tenacious on that thing that already worked. There is no need change. You don't need a hurry to change anything. Ask yourself, how do I improve in what already gave me 1 naira? Because for everything that gave you 1 naira in 2021, the thing has a chance of giving you 100 billion. All you need to do is set in the systems and the processes that can make you be valued more. You've got to be valued more. And then the moment you raise your value, your prices go up. Right? So we must understand that goal scoring is very important. And we all are in the business of scoring goals, not necessarily in the business of setting goals. So wherever you are, you're listening to me, go score that goals, all right? Score the goals, don't wait. I mean, if the ball is in front of you and you have the net with you, score. Don't say that thing is supposed to be scored by number 9, because that's what a lot of people have done with their life. You tell them, come and do this, they say, no, that's not my role, though. It's my sister that knows how to do it more. And that's the reason why a lot of people have passed in their gift and opportunities, only for them to say, oh, I didn't do so much this year. No, you passed a chance to score a goal because you were believing that you set so many goals. All right, thank you very much. My name is Alahima Opera.
All right, wow. I would have loved him to continue, but then we have there's a whole lot more we still need to talk about, and we still have to take questions, we have to take comments and all of that. But then before I go into asking you questions, let me quickly take some comments we have on our social media platform right now. So on Facebook, we have Mr. Mark Aniele wishing us Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you so much. And we also have a big care Olubisi.
That's my head of operations.
Yeah, thank you so much. We love you too. And of course, Abike Olubisi, yeah, I think she's making like quoting some of the serious quotes that you make mention of, like whatever you cannot measure, you cannot improve, which is a very, very strong one right there. Then Mr. Mark Anele asked a question, which I would love you to answer. He said, how can you explain to a teenager the benefit of goal setting in a failed system?
Okay, so like I said again, I mean the answers were into what I already said.
Yes, you did mention that.
So it is called a failed system. Because of the standard you inherit, not the one you curated. Because every time you say Nigeria has failed, there are people who are taking advantage of what you call failure to make it proud.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the major person who inspired me this year is Machala.
Yeah.
That's Wiz, Big Wiz. I'm his fan every day, anytime. Right. That is a man who understands the fact that, for Mark Anthony, thank you very much, boss. I want to say something that is a bit sensitive. So I changed my game. And one of the things I did was ask myself, how much does this industry have, or this locality have? So Nigeria and our system looks like mediocrity, failed system, all of this. But you need to ask yourself what you're called to. If you are called to your village people, you will use them as standard for what you're doing. But if you understand that you are called to reach the world, then you stop using your village people as
an excuse. Okay.
So one of the things I did was I realized that the world is my constituency. I mean, one of the things we're doing this year is that we're taking the signature brand round across Africa, and then we're taking it to the world. It's going to be in Europe this year.
Man.
Right? It is intentional for us. The reason is because, okay, I started my business in Ajigule, which is where Mark is the senior chairman to me. He is the chairman of the sports council in Ajigule. So one time I realized that it was important to change this game. The first question I asked myself is, how much can even Ajigule give me with the kind of dreams that I have? And then I realized that everybody begs the same person. Everybody gets paid by the same people. So here's what it is. I cannot do so much more than the total thing that is expected in that industry. So I changed the game, and then I realized that I am not called to Ajigule, I'm actually called to the world. Right? And that was what Wizkid did. I mean, the album Nigerians condemned and say this album is the wackest, album ever. Is the album that has 2 nominations on the Grammy.
Wow.
In other words, it means that what they call rubbish may not be rubbish to the world. So what's the advice to teenagers? Let them know that the system that failed them is not really what is obtainable around the world. That Nigeria is not working does not mean everywhere is not working.
It's not working.
I mean, Dubai is working. Feed you may not have been there at your point in time in life now, but you must feed yourself with good images of the places that work. As in, what I do every morning is that I go on the internet and I take a tour. I take a tour around India and what they're doing with medicine and technology. I take a tour around Dubai. I take a tour around Canada. And then I see the limitless opportunities that are within those worlds. And then I make it my reality. So that's the reason why I don't see Nigeria stopping me. In fact, the failure of the system is an advantage for me to create a new product that makes me shine. Right? So if you're talking with these teenagers, you need to understand and make them understand that the world is their constituency. If Wizkid can make it happen, it doesn't matter how long it takes. There used to be a time where in Nigeria, we only play Western songs, Western performances, Western artists are invited and all of those things. And it got to a point today, Afro to the world. Right? Because some people are intentionally making sure that their brand don't stay small. I saw the post he posted this morning and I made it on my status. He said, everyone thought I am a lost child when I was busy pursuing my dreams. In other words, it means that the first people to always call you useless is always those who are close to you. I mean, that's true.
Because they don't understand.
It was the same thing that happened with Jesus in Nazareth. And then you realize that if I don't play big, Jerusalem is a bigger space. It is a bigger space. So the big question I always like to ask myself is, how well can you play in the bigger space? And the capacity to play in the bigger space is about the size of what you carry and the size of what you can see. So I changed that game, and as I speak with you now, what every other person makes in that community, the highest anybody can give you maybe as support is in hundreds of thousands and the likes. What my business deliver, I mean, from my own effort and the work that we put in. I mean, some people have turned begging into strategy. When they are supposed to be busy building a system that makes them money so that people can respect them. Nobody respect and value what they sympathize.
Deep.
But you've got to give them value. You've got to give them value. So this system has not failed. The reason why it looks like it's failed is because you need to create something that gives hope for those young teenagers. Right? And the time to start to create is now. Don't ever tell them that their family are the people they are called to make proud. Don't ever tell them that their church are those they are called to make proud. Let them understand that they are designed to reach the world. If this kid can do it,
then you can do it. All right. Wow. I love the way you put that, and I love the instances you gave. That's a very, very deep one. So wow, I would have loved to ask you more questions, but trust me, our time is fast spent. But instead of that, I would love to quickly read out some points which you already stated, and I love the fact that you started with set your standard, which means you can't be allowing yourself, or you can't be judging yourself by other people's standard. You have to set your own standard, which means you know what you want, you know how to get it. So don't judge yourself by what other people have. Then the second point you made was position yourself. Position yourself, which means if you need to get the skills, get the skills. If you need to go for seminars this year, go for that seminar. If you need to get a certificate this year, get that certificate. Make yourself ready. Don't wait for life to happen to you.
Yeah, so the major message or the way to see it is, for you to be able to score your goals, you cannot be pursuing the ball. You can only run to where the ball is going.
So that the ball will come and meet you.
So I'm already positioned. The ball is coming.
Now I understand it better. When someone told me a few days ago that you don't work for money, you allow money to come and meet you, because when you put that thing that can bring the money, the money will come by itself.
Okay, let me
You'll
just-
not be the one chasing the money anymore.
So let me just add, there are levels to these things. There are times in your life where you need to chase it.
Okay.
You must be honest. That's why I used the word. I did not say that lane, track, and the air.
And hair.
I said these three are in your life part time.
Part time.
You must choose what part of your life is already on flight.
Okay, if I may ask, how do you know the time that your life is on the track, the time that your life is on the lane, and the time that your life is on the hair?
Oh, it's a simple thing with honest auditing yourself for mastery.
Okay.
I mean, this is me. I'm here. You told me about this section. I didn't remember preparing. I mean, I've not slept from last night. There's a crossover. There's no book in front of me. Right?
Yes.
So somebody calls to say, how do you even say these things that you say? No, I have mastered my deepest gift in teaching and in seeing things the way others may not see it. So immediately I told you, when I came to the studio, I said, would you have really not done anything? You said, no, you believe me.
Of course
and
not.
I just hope I'm not underperforming, yeah? but then again, there's a level to this performance. I mean, there will be somebody here who's going to do way better. Or no, not way better, because that's not to say that the person did better than
You, yeah.
Or I am saying I am doing better than someone. But we're always going to share our views.
Yes.
In other words, the point there is that you must know the things you have mastered per time. It brings me to what you call the Juarez window, but that's a lecture for another day.
All right.
Because the Juarez window helps you understand what part of your life is open, meaning it is known to others and it is known to you. The part of your life that is dark, right? It is unknown to you but known to others. And then the part of your life that is hidden, it is unknown to others but known to you.
Wow.
Now, when you understand that, it will help you understand the part of your life that is on the track, and the one that is on the lane, and the one that is on the air.
Yeah.
So the major message here is to understand that there are days you will chase money. The child that is born by Dangote is not the same as the child born by one man who don't have the means. So if that child has to pursue money to know the value of money, it is important. Don't go and give the guy stupid motivational speaking and say don't pursue money. Pursue money. Over time, when you use money to become what you become, some other ideas and ideologies and quotes that you have, you will leave them.
You leave them.
No, I mean naturally you will leave them
one.
and you just go to the new one. So we shouldn't rush people, allow people grow at their pace, right? And then we must always make sure that there is a balanced understanding. I mean, at this point in my life, I am pursuing money. Anybody not going to give me one motivation?
All right, pursue the money.
I am pursuing money. I am pursuing contact.
Yeah.
Right. But what it means to pursue. What it means to pursue money for me may not be the same thing
for the other.
I mean, in the whole of this season, everybody in my office, all my staff, we worked all through. No break on Christmas, no break on Boxing Day. We don't understand that. Everybody worked in the office.
Wow.
I mean, we had goals to reach in January. When the opportunity came, everybody knew that they need to forget whatever they were doing and be in the office.
Yeah.
At that point, bro, we pursued money. And when everybody needed to leave, yesterday that was 31st, they saw the reason why we had to sacrifice and pursue that money. We got it and everybody smiled at us. Right? But the point is that pursuing is about you not pursuing the goal that you are intending to score, but positioning for it. But the tools you need to score that goal should be pursued. I will pursue that man who is the tool for me to achieve that goal. The goal is to become a better person. The tool is that man. I will pursue. The man will not come to you. So success don't come
to you. So you have to go meet the success.
You need to raise
Okay.
yourself
Okay.
to that success.
Okay. Wow. All right. Then you also mentioned build a system that can attract what you want.
Absolutely.
Because when you don't, when you keep praying for it and the system is not there, even if you get it, you cannot sustain
Don't
it.
forget, I said there is that autopilot stage. There's
Yeah.
a point there's nothing Two-Face will sing that will not make sense. I just heard Ballon d'Or from Burna Boy and Whiskey.
I'm scared.
If now upcoming singer, I don't go blow.
Yeah.
Now superstar singer, the distribution channel, every of those
Everything
things
is
is
there.
solid. And you know there is no rubbish until you repeatedly listen to it. I'll leave you. There is no rubbish until you repeatedly listen to it. They understand that the game is to repeatedly hear it. And you don't have any choice than to like it. Because they are on the autopilot stage, anything they give you, you
You
consume.
accept it like that. Thank you. Okay, then there's a part of understanding your value.
Absolutely.
You need to understand your value. You need to understand who you are and all of that. Then there's a part of where you mentioned that take advantage of the opportunities around you.
Absolutely.
Don't allow your environment limit you. Then you also said don't limit yourself to your environment and your circumstances.
Absolutely.
So wow, I'm sure you listening to us at home, in your car, or wherever, in the office, or even I know some people are working today. You all must have been jotting down a lot of things, and if you don't mind, you can share with us. You can post it on our social media platforms. You can go to our Facebook page right now, leave a comment there, and if you still have a question for him, you can reach out to us. We'll get through to him for you. And of course, Mr. Olopara, before I let you go, please kindly let people know how they can reach you, and if they want to contact you.
All right, so my handles across all social media is I am signature, I am underscore signature on Instagram. But once you put up I am signature, I'm always going to show up, whether the one the underscore or the one together. Right, that's my social handle. My email address is olaima. The email there is spelled as I, not E. ima@gmail.com. So my phone numbers. So you can always reach me. So it's been a delight. It's been a delightful moment, and you can always reach me.
all right. So there you have it, people. I'm so happy that we were able to do this. At least now we know.
Let me drop my WhatsApp line.
Okay.
I feel a lot of people want to get personal.
Okay.
It's 070, beg your pardon, 63907082.
Okay, you might want to call that slowly now.
07063907082.
All right. So don't forget you can follow us on our social media platform. On Facebook we are Broad Street Radio NG, on Twitter Broad Street Arrowheady, Instagram Broad Street Arrowheady, and on YouTube. Yes, the video will be available on YouTube in a few minutes, so you can always go back there to watch it over and over again. And we are Broad Street Radio NG on YouTube as well. And I still want to say a big thank you to everybody who have joined the show this morning. To those who have been part of the show via the mobile app, I want to say a big thank you to you. Those that have been listening via the online radio directories that our platform is on, I want to say a big thank you to you as well. And for those that have been watching on Facebook, I want to say big thank you to you, to all the people that made
comments. I see my
comments.
people. I just want to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Lubisi, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the great service that you give to us at Signature Initiatives. That's the head of operations.
Oh, wow.
Juliet Emirua, thank you very much. Nanya Easy, thank you very much. Ajiboye Adediji, thank you very much.
Yeah.
My mentor, Praiseful, Maswell Uba, great man, Bolaji Akiemi, thank you very much for switching in. Mark Anthony, thank you so much. Arugu Daddy, thank you very much. I love you again.
All right, and on Facebook, we still have Olabisi as well. Thank you so much for the comments. And Mark Anehle, thank you so much. And of course, we have Collins Akpelu.
Oh, that's my
as
chairman.
well.
That's my boss. Collins Akpelu,
Thank you so much for stopping by to
Thanks
leave
for
a comment.
having me.
And
Yes,
of
thank
course,
you
we
so
have Nonye Eze, thank you. She's saying thank you very much,
so much.
Mr.
Thank
Ola
you.
Opara. This
Thank
was
you.
very
We love you,
inspiring.
thank you so
It's a
much,
positive year already. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy that we're able to reach live, touch lives this morning, and I want to believe that yes, you will now know what to do to make 2022 an amazing year. How to achieve your goals. How to no. Yeah, how to score your goals. Let me put it that way. How to score your goals. So, and of course, how to set your plans, how to set your formations, and put it to work, and what to do
like
to make
that.
sure that you score the goals. So, guys, this is where I'm gonna be calling it a day right here on 360 Hub. Don't forget, Saturday morning cruise still continues. Coming up next is on Flakes, where we get to talk about movies. You know, after giving you all those brain stress, we love bringing something fun to relieve you, then help you assimilate easily. So yes, we're gonna be talking about movies that are coming out in January today on the show, so don't go anywhere. It's gonna be fun. And yes, this is me saying join me again next week on 360 Up, as we'll be discussing another interesting topic right here on the show. So don't go anywhere. Stay connected to Bros Radio, your number one business radio station. And my name is Ojo Lasisi, aka Rainover. Thank you for watching. We will be back after this break. And this is